Hello everyone. Um, Moving on the subject of giftings. Um, it is very good and expedient for us to differentiate uh, the giftings and also the spontaneous revelations of God on when we're operating within our office. So that's it. You can call it three divisions. So the one is giftings. When you have a gift, this is the where God have seen deemed that you can operate in. And there's an office. Office is like obviously, for example, pastoral office. Is you're a pastor, you're a priest. That's an office. It's not a gift. So we need to be clear on that. Notwithstanding, within that office, God can choose to develop within you a certain peculiar gift that He can use to uh, uh, um, work through you within the office. So we need to be clear the differences between office. We have office of a prophet. A prophet is an office. So when you prophesy, it doesn't mean that you're a prophet. It just means that God want to use you for that particular purpose to prophesy over a certain individual, over a certain situation. It means that that's where God want to use you. It doesn't mean that you're a prophet. So let's be mindful of that. So when you have a pastoral office and you have a prophetic office, if you have evangelistic office, it's not a gift, it's an office. You can, evangelistic office is a very peculiar one that you can be called evangelist. So that's your office. We need to be mindful of that. Obviously, we know that it comes in line with missionary. So they will need to be clear on what God is preparing us for, so that we can be effective in that journey. So I will encourage you, each office or each gifting that you have discovered operating in within you, and especially within the ministry of faith, recognize that, water that, promote that, and you will see God developing more in you of a gift, and also working more in you, because gift is not really something that define God's image in our lives. There's so many things that define God's image in our life, not just the giftings, but the giftings is a way of promoting the work of God that God is channeling through us. So it is good thing to work within that line of giftings. And then it shows up the character of God in such a wonderful way. So I encourage you, if whichever gift or office that you find yourself in, endeavor to be diligent, humble, and let God be magnified in those areas, because that's what God is looking for. Because sometimes we forget the fact that God is really longing to be glorified through us in the ministry that He prepared us for. So do not neglect your ministry. Do not neglect your gift God has given to you. Do not neglect the offices God have called you upon to work within in. And obviously be mindful of jumping from one office to another, thinking, well, you can be multitask. I am not doubting that. God is an awesome God. He can give you a multi-task orientation of ministry. That is how wonderful God is, and how transparent and how diversified God is. So I will encourage you, but not to deliberately, without discernment, jump into one ministry or one office to another. So make sure you have a sense of understanding of what God is calling you into. And when you operate in that, you can see the healthy part of it. You can see God channeling His energy through you, supporting you, magnifying Himself, showing up whenever you're in that office, whenever you're operating within that gift. Because I know the gift God have called upon my life, and that is something peculiar that I discovered to 1994, and I have never shied away from that. And that is evangelistic ministry. As I am coming to the evangelistic ministry, I have seen many supernatural occurrences, and that's how I know that wow, That's the gift. That's the, well, we can call it an office. It is an office that God has given upon my life, that I am longing to continue to be obedient in that office. So do discover the office God has given